Now, as we continue this journey, I want to talk about a couple other concepts which I think are important for setting that healthier lifestyle. So, one concept I wanted to introduce to all of you is this concept of biohacking, right? It sounds like a weird word, biohacking. What exactly is that? So, biohacking just means creating the best self possible. So think about it. What have you done already in these first 5 days? You guys are biohackers. You just didn't really know it. So, what are some examples of biohacking? Well, exercise, if you choose to do 20 minutes or more of exercise a day, that's a wonderful way to be a biohacker. Diet, okay, look at all the wonderful recipes that are being put on the page, the tips on different diets, on it's so wonderful. You're empowering each other to live healthier by eating well and eating healthy. What are some of the other things that we do as biohackers? Well, we've talked about meditation. We've talked about decreasing stress, maybe going to work with the radio up. Maybe you're deciding not to listen to the negativity in the world. You're singing at the top of your lungs. These are all examples of biohacking. And this is fabulous. You guys have done an amazing job becoming biohackers just in this first 5 days. But I want to add in something else into the mix because biohacking can also involve something called nutrigenomics. Okay, so I'm a doctor. I know it's a big word, but let's break it down. Nutrigenomics. What does that mean? Nutra just means nutrition, and genomics means your genome or your genetics. So it's using nutrition to change the expression of one's genes. Let's think about that for a while. I mean, 20 years ago, do we think this was even possible? No. Your mom and dad gave you your genetics, your genes, and your genes were your genes were your genes. You know, if you had a history of heart disease, well, that's a bummer because you have that history, that family history. But what I want to tell you now is that you actually can change the expression of your genes through this process of nutrigenomics. It's so exciting. Now, let's think a little bit about the world that we live in right now. I mean, do some of you guys feel like you're being hijacked right now, that you're being overwhelmed, bombarded by this environment? Think about the last 2 years. What have we had to endure, right? COVID. It has affected all of us. Many of us know people who are sick, who have died from COVID. It's changed our lifestyles, it's changed our mental health. We feel trapped in our own houses. We're bombarded by all of these toxins and other things. What else is going on in the world? Well, inflation. I mean, don't you feel hijacked by that? You go to the grocery store or the gas pump, and the prices are absurd. Everything has gone up exponentially. And then, in addition to that, look what's going on in the big world, right? Russia, Ukraine, it's overwhelming. It's so sad to even watch television right now. So I think many of us are feeling this feeling of just being hijacked, of losing control of our world. So, thus the importance of biohacking, okay? Now, I want to talk about one of the products that we're featuring as part of nutrigenomics, and that product is called Protandim NRF2. And as flippers, what I want you to think about is you're flipping a switch within the body. You're flipping the NRF2 pathway or the NRF2 switch. So what does this mean? What is NRF2? That's such a foreign word. Well, there was a wonderful PhD, Dr. Joe McCord out of Duke University, who studied something that's called oxidative stress. Okay, again, fancy word. Oxidative stress just means your body's rusting from the inside out. It's just like if you took an apple and you cut that apple in half, that apple would brown. Or if you took a piece of metal and you left that metal outside, that metal would rust. That's oxidation, or what we think of as oxidative stress. And that rusting, that oxidative stress is occurring within the body as well. So, how do we get rid of that rusting? How do we slow down that aging process? Well, we're flippers. We flip a switch, we biohack our body. So, when you turn on this pathway by using Protandim Nrf2, it's turning on what we know to be about 400 or 500 different survival genes. And you don't have to be a doctor to know that survival genes are a great thing. Survival genes are things like antioxidant enzymes to get rid of free radicals, to get rid of toxins, to help your cells heal themselves. Anti-inflammatory enzymes. How often have you heard that buzzword? Inflammation, right? It's the root cause of disease. So by turning on Nrf2, by using Protandim Nrf2, you're flipping the switch, you're biohacking your body, and you're turning on all of these good genes. So there's a number of videos that are actually in this group which talk about biohacking, which talk about what we have available. We have these activation stacks. So what does that mean? That just means you're taking our flagship product, Protandim Nrf2, and you're combining it with a couple of other products in order to address whatever your main problem is. So let's say, for example, your main concern was immune health. Well, we have an activation stack for that, the immune health stack. Let's say your main problem was energy. You just can't get enough energy. Well, we have a peak energy stack for that. Let's say you were an athlete and you want to improve your performance, you're overall healthy, but you just want to be a better version of yourself. You know, maybe the Tri-Synergizer stack is the right stack for you. So as you go through these next 5 days, we have a lot more in store for you. We're trying to provide value for you. We're trying to provide encouragement, empowerment to get on this healthy path. And so what I want you to do is do your research. Look at these activation stacks and see if they can be part of your biohacking journey over these 10 days, but then past these 10 days. What are you going to do? How are you going to stay on that healthy course? This is working on your body at a cellular level. So it's exciting. Now, we do have a number of prizes that are in store for you. So some of you guys have already won our pop-up prizes featuring our energy drink, our Axio, and 2 of you have already won. We have a couple more pop-up prizes in store for you this coming week. Those you win just by being active in the group. If you're commenting, if you're sharing, if you're contributing to the group, we want to reward you and thank you for joining us, and so you can win these pop-up prizes. But for the $300 cash prize at the end of it, we ask you to do one more thing to be eligible, and that's to get with the person who asked you to this group and look at one of these activation stacks. How can we biohack you? How can we help you use nutrigenomics as part of your healthy journey? So make sure, if you're watching this, to comment below and let us know if you're interested in learning more about these activation stacks. Let us know if there's something you're really trying to address. What are you trying to biohack? Is it your immune system? Is it your heart? Is it your energy? Is it your athletic performance? What are you trying to solve? What do you want to improve during this journey?